I'm amazed. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, you know. And I've been telling some of my other Vietnam buddies, you know, and they don't believe it, you know. And they says, well, it must have been all that therapy you had. I says, partially so, but you know, that even though I did have all this therapy, and there was still residual. I don't feel the shock no more. I don't feel like the sword through my heart, the pain associated with it.
How many years of therapy have you been in through working with these issues?
This is 1978.
And is this the first time you felt this free?
Yes. I mean, absolutely so. 100% so. You know, I think it was my time to meet you guys. I think it was.
Wonderful.
God's blessed me, I swear to God.
Okay.
You know?
I want to take you back to the restaurant. We were outside the door. I remember this very clearly. This was last night. We were outside the door, and up until that point you said, I'm fine. You were very comfortable. And then I opened the door, and I said, now let's go in. And you went, and in fact, your words were, no, I'm frozen here. Remember saying that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
It was like,
and then we did some tapping, and then that kind of went away. And then we went right in the restaurant, and I don't think you had a nickel's worth of anxiety from that point forward. Maybe you did. Why don't you describe it, whatever you had?
no, you're right. Not even a nickel's worth of anxiety.
And
I chose my own spot, remember?
yeah. Which was your back to almost everybody.
Yeah, I wanted to test this. I just didn't want to think that, you know, I was tapping on myself, and it was just a distraction. Because I know my awareness level would come back. You know, my awareness level was still there, but it was there in a good nature rather than one that would make me have paranoia, you know, and feel that I'm being gazed upon or a target. Nobody likes to be a target,
Yeah.
especially if you've been in combat, you know. You know what it's like. And it's something that I've never lost. Well, I can't say that anymore. Well, I tested it. I sat with my back to where the entrances were, in the middle of the room, and hold on to your hats. I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, you did. We just sat there and had a very casual dinner, as a matter of fact.
That's right. I really enjoyed myself. I can't say enough about this.
We turn now to Robert and work with his toughest intrusive memories. Please note that he has been through conventional therapy for almost 30 years and still describes his PTSD as severe.
And that's why you have less emotional reaction, even though it is by no means done. You still describe it as severe. Okay?
Right, because I have certain memories that are very severe that I just, when I start thinking about them or when something comes up where I'm remembering them, I do anything I can to forget them.
Of course. What we're going to do here is deal with that energy system directly. Not with the memory. We use the memory kind of like a guide. But we're going to deal with the energy system. And the way we do that, and why this appears so strange to people, is we have you tap on certain points of your body, under your eye over here and here, and under your arm and here. And we have you do a bunch of things which are seemingly strange and appear to be nothing like psychology, nothing whatsoever like it. And yet it really is, because what you will find if we're successful here is you'll find as we tap on this, you're going to find some of the emotional reactions you have subside. And get less and less and less. To the point where we've had many people sitting in your chair here in the last couple of days who have gotten over headaches, they've gotten over a lot of anxious feelings, they've taken a lot of their intrusive memories, and they've been able to talk right through from beginning to end with no intensity whatsoever, whereas before on a scale of 0 to 10 it went to a 10, bang like that, just like I think yours would quickly, okay?
Insomnia, where they have slept.
Yeah, we just, Phil right here had insomnia, and we just had him give a testimonial, and he's been sleeping fine, and so on. So anyway, I can't give you promises, but I will tell you this does not hurt. And so we'll give it the experience. We won't have you doing things which seem strange. I'll have you tapping here, for example, and among other things, rolling your eyes around in your head and humming, like our song, Happy Birthday. That's to get your right brain involved. That's the creative part. And then counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's to get your left brain involved. But see, and we'll have you rubbing a sore spot, and we'll have you saying some affirmations like, I accept myself even though I have this thought, or even though I have this feeling or something. So you just have to kind of flow with us, okay?
Next, we have Robert pick out his most intense memory. He labels it the kid, and we start balancing the energy system by using affirmations and tapping on certain body locations. It comes down from a 9.5 to a 5 to a 2.5 to a 0. To this point, we have just addressed this memory in a general way. He is now ready to tell the story.
Do you feel comfortable now in discussing it and telling us?
Yeah, because I can kind of separate myself from it now.
Okay. Here's the way we do it, though, okay? Remember, we're not into having big pain.
Right.
Okay. What I'd like to have you do is this 1 or 2 minute movie, which has the intense part with the kid in it. I'd like to have you maybe start a little bit before that, where it's comfortable to talk about it, and then start getting into it. and as you get into it closer and closer to things that might make you intense, if you get intense, you let me know immediately. Say, I'm getting intense now.
Okay.
We want to stop right there and deal with this, okay? So go ahead, start.
And let me just interject this. You don't have to get up to a high number. When you start feeling any emotion about it, let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, even a 3 or a 4. Even a 3 or a 4, we want to know about it, okay? So go ahead.
I can remember coming into a village and a buddy of mine, the guy that was driving the truck, wanted to stop for some reason. I kind of have a suspicion what he wanted to stop for, but we were stopped outside a bar, and he was inside. I had a kid kept coming up the truck, and I kept telling him to get away, and he kept coming, and I wasn't paying too much attention to him. I figured he was just curious, and then I started looking at him, and I noticed he had a grenade in his hand with a pin pulled.
How do you feel when you say that?
A little anxious, not bad.
Give me a number.
2, maybe 2.5.
I take care of it.
Yeah, well, we're going to stop, okay? And you can resume the story in a minute, but we're just, okay. I accept myself, do it yourself. I accept myself even though I still have some of this kid emotion.
I accept myself even though I still have some of this kid emotion. I accept myself even...
Okay, collarbone. Now, go back to that point where you seen the boy with the grenade with the pin pulled, and tell me if it's still a 2 or 3 or whatever it was.
I can see him, and I'm almost like I'm just watching a movie.
Okay, all right, good. That's what we want. All right, continue on with the story, but be sure you tell me about intensity as you go on, okay?
He came up, he kept coming, and I kept telling him, don't come any closer, drop the grenade, and he kept coming at me, and he was, I remember it now, he was kind of almost like the kid was in a trance. And so I took a rifle and I fired 2 rounds down his feet. The kid still kept coming. And
how do you feel when you say that?
Anxious.
Okay, give me a number.
3 maybe.
3, okay. Rub it yourself. I accept myself even though I still have some of this kid emotion.
I accept myself even though I still have some of this kid emotion.
Okay, tune back into that now. You fired 2 rounds at his feet and he still keeps coming.
Just like I'm watching a movie.
Okay, continue on.
And he kept coming, and I kept trying to... Finally, I didn't have any choice. I had to shoot him.
How's that feel?
Anxious, because I don't like... it's something I didn't want to do.
Now, 0 to 10, where are you?
Probably an 8.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I accept myself even though I have this kid emotion.
I accept myself even though I still have this kid emotion.
I accept myself even though I shot the kid.
I accept myself even though I shot the kid.
2 more times.
I accept...
Where are you now?
Probably down to about a 0.
You think you're a 0?
Probably a half a 0.
Okay.
But I can see the kid. I can see him laying there dead.
Have you ever been able to see the kid laying there dead and having the emotional response you have now?
No.
0. Has it always been a 10 or something?
It's always been at least a 10.
Okay.
Even though Robert has never been able to tell this story calmly before, we still want to test it. So he is asked to tell it again to see if any emotional intensity comes up.
The story you're telling is the 2-minute movie. The most intense part is shooting the boy?
Yeah, the most important intense part.
We got the intense part. Yeah. I'd like to have you go back and get into it again, okay? Because he's something else comes out. Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We had pulled into the village. A buddy of mine says, "Hey, I've got to do something. I'll be right back." And I said something about, you know, we should be moving on. We're not supposed to be in the village. The village is restricted. Well, don't worry about it. So we kept on. So he went in and I waited in the vehicle. And I remember the kid kind of looking interested at the truck, and I didn't pay too much attention. I figured, hey, he's just a young kid. He's curious.
How old was he?
5, 6 maybe, if that old. It's hard to tell.
Right.
And then I noticed the kid disappeared for a minute or two, and I didn't pay much attention. I figured, well, he got bored. He just didn't want to look anymore. Next thing I know, he's coming from the other side of the building, and he's got something in his hand, kind of behind him. And I can't see what he's got in his hand. He's still quite a ways away, and his hand is kind of behind his back. So finally he gets up probably 60, 70 feet away, maybe, if that far. And I can kind of halfway see what he's got. He's got his hand, something clenched in his hand. I still can't quite see it, but I can see his hand is clenching something about the size of a grenade. And I figure, okay, he's probably got a rock. He's probably going to throw a rock. No problem. I figure, what's he going to do with a rock? Then all of a sudden, his hand comes up behind me. It's probably, maybe 40 feet away from us, if that far. And he's got a grenade in it. I don't know how the kid had the strength to hold the grenade in the spoon, but he did. So all of a sudden, I'm talking to him, telling him to leave. And then I hear the spoon spring. And
you hear the what?
I hear this ping. He let go of that grenade, and the spoon had flung off of it, so it was fully armed. All he had to do was put it at us, and the truck was gone, and I was gone with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
how do you feel when you say that?
I really don't feel any emotion because and so I fired 4 rounds, I guess, down by his feet, kind of giving him a notice, hey, don't come any closer. I've got a weapon, I will shoot you. So he just keeps right on coming. It's like, hey, I'm in a trance, I don't care. So then I fired another round, and I hit him in the shoulder. But okay, I'm going to get him to drop the weapon. Get him to drop the grenade. Hit him in the shoulder. He's going to drop the grenade and grab his arm. He didn't do it. He just kept right on coming like a zombie. So I said, well, I've got to get rid of him now, or he's going to be so close to the truck. He's going to take me.
How do you feel right now?
I really don't feel any emotion at all.
Go ahead.
So I just, I took the rifle, I finally raised it up to where it's about even with his head, and I fired 3 rounds, I guess. And all of a sudden, he dropped down, the grenade